Morning children, in the previous lecture we discussed about the role of microbes in production of biogas. Now we will discuss the role of microbes as biological agent and as biofertilizers. So here in this picture you are seeing many insects like lady beetle, dragonfly, wasp, bees, etc. And these all insects, they behave as a biocontrol agent. Okay, so first of all, we should know what is the meaning of biocontrol. Biocontrol, it refers as the biological method for controlling plant diseases and pests. Now in the modern society, in the modern agricultural method, we are using more and more chemicals like insecticide and pesticide to kill the insects and pests which harms a crop, right? But these insecticides and pesticide and other chemicals, they are very much harmful for human beings, animals. Beside this, they have been polluting our environment, like soil, ground, water, they all are getting polluted due to these chemicals. So now the organic farmer in the agriculture, they are searching for such method by which these harms cannot be caused. So the natural predation method is the best method for for saving a biodiversity as well as for removal of these pests and insects without the use of chemicals. So natural predation means when a predator prey relationship, children, you all know that predator is the organism which feed on the prey. Okay, so if we take a organism which is the predator of the pest, then what will happen? Then that predator will eat all the pest, as a result of which there will be no harm to the biodiversity, as well as without the using of chemical we are eradicating these pests, right? So the main aim of the organic farming is that we should not eradicate the pest, but we should manage them. So if these pests, they are at the manageable level, they will not harm our ecosystem as well as our environment, right? As I told you earlier, that the conventional farming practices, they are mainly based on the use of chemicals, and these chemicals, they are very very harmful for our environment as well as for us also, right? So the organic farming is the best method by which without the use of chemical we will do farming, and we will use the biological agents to control all the pests and insects which are there in a field. Okay, so biological farming or organic farming is quite a better approach than that of conventional farming. So here the various life form, so for doing this organic farming we should know about the various life forms which are present in that field, so that we can make best use of all these organism in a farming, right? So now we will discuss how these organism serve as a biocontrol agent. Children, you all are familiar with the beetle. You all have seen in your garden the beetle with red and black marking. And this beetle, right, it is very very harmful for aphids. So it is used to kill the aphid, as aphid is the food of ladybird. So the ladybird, this can be used as a biocontrol agent. Beside this, you all have seen the dragonflies, right? And they control the mosquitoes as they eat mosquitoes. So without harming the biodiversity without harming the environment. These biocontrol agents, they are used to uh, control these mosquitoes and aphids, right? To get rid of mosquitoes and aphids, we can use ladybird and dragonfly. Now we will discuss about the microbial biocontrol agent, right? That can be introduced, that biocontrol agent, it was introduced to control butterfly, caterpillar. It was bacteria bacillus thuringiensis, right? So this is very very important. In later, in chapter 12, we will discuss how this bt cotton it was made. We will discuss all these things in detail in chapter 12. In this chapter, you should know that what is actually the bacillus thuringiensis. It is a bacteria. So when this bacteria, it is introduced in cotton plant, and this bacteria, when it is eaten by the caterpillar of the butterfly, the caterpillar of the butterfly which damages the cotton plant, they dies, because when this bacteria get into the gut of the caterpillar, it produce toxin, right? And this toxin will kill the caterpillar. So, and this bacteria will not harm the other organism which are there in the in that area. So this will only harm the butterfly caterpillar. So this is again the very good example of biocontrol, right? So in the market, the sachets, they are available which contain this bacteria bacillus thuringiensis, and when you will spray to the vulnerable plant, the all the caterpillar, they will die, because when they will eat the crystal of this bacillus thuringiensis, then the toxin will be produced in their gut, and this toxin will kill the caterpillar, right? And you will get rid of the caterpillar which will destroy which these caterpillar, they were destroying your cotton crops, so you will get rid of them. Okay, so now this bacillus thuringiensis is very very important, and it is used to control wide range of insects. Especially it is used to control the butterfly caterpillar which damages the cotton plant. Now children, now the another very important biocontrol agent is a fungus which is said to be the trichoderma. Children, if we recapitulate this trichoderma, we studied in the production of cyclosporin A, right? Earlier we studied, which acts as a immunosuppressive agent, right? Previously we have discussed about the trichoderma. So this trichoderma fungus, it is very important. Beside producing cyclosporin A, which acts as a very important immunosuppressant, it is also used as a biocontrol agent, right? So this trichoderma fungus, it is free living, and it live in the root ecosystem, and it is very specific to the pathogen, and whenever the pathogen or the any agent, it comes to damage the root of the plant, this trichoderma, it releases the toxin which kills that pathogen. Okay, so they are very effective biocontrol agent for several plant pathogens. Okay, now we come to the next baculovirus pathogen. It is very very important for your NEET examination as well as for your board examination, baculovirus. So these are the pathogens that attack insects and other arthropods. Okay, and these majority of the baculovirus, they belongs to a genus Nucleopolyhedrovirus. Name is quite big, so you have to remember Nucleopolyhedrovirus. Okay, so these baculovirus, mainly they belong to the genus Nucleopolyhedrovirus, which acts as a very good biological agent. So one thing is very important in this case, that these baculovirus, they are species specific, means they will act on very few number of species. So they are species specific. That means they will act on a particular type of species of that particular pathogen. So here it is very important to note that they are species specific, and they have narrow spectrum insecticidal application. Narrow spectrum means they act on very few number of organism. Okay, so and they will not harm the other organism like plant, mammal, bird, fish, right? And even if non-target insects are there, they are not the target of this virus, so they will not act on it. So one very important thing to note about baculovirus is that they are species specific. That means they will act on particular type of species. And narrow spectrum means they will act on very few species, and they will not harm the other organism, right? Now because of this, these baculovirus, they are very important part of integrated pest management program. Okay, because they are species specific, so they are the very important uh, part of integrated pest management program. Okay, so here in the diagram many biocontrol agents they have shown. Now we will discuss how microbes can be used as biofertilizers, right? Children, environmental pollution, it is day by day it is increasing, right? So fertilizers, in the lower classes you have studied that these fertilizers, they pollute the soil as well as water. That is why we are going for the organic farming, where the use of chemicals it is minimal, right? So now we are adopting the method in which we should not use these fertilizers in the field, as a result of which maximum input we get with only the use of biological agent, right? So we can use manure as well as we can use many biological agent for as bio fertilizer. So in lower classes you have studied about them very much, so one by one we will discuss. Now biofertilizers, they are the organism that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. So they are the organisms. Okay, biofertilizers, they are the organism. It is not, don't get confused it with the humus. They are the organisms, right, that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. So these biofertilizers, they may be bacteria, they may be fungi, they may be cyanobacteria. So now the bacteria as biofertilizers. So children, that rhizobium, you all are very much familiar about this bacteria, that this rhizobium which lives in the root nodule of the leguminous plant, it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen and it converts it into nitrate and nitrite, so that it can be used by the plant. So if we use this rhizobium instead of using the fertilizers, what will happen? There will be no harm to a soil. The soil chemistry will remain as it is. No harm to the friendly microorganism will be there. As children, the fertilizers, they decreases the water holding capacity. They kills the useful microbes which are present in the soil, right? And they change the soil chemistry by making the soil either acidic or basic depending on the type of fertilizer used. So all these are the harms of using the these biofertilizer of using these fertilizers. That is why there is the need of art that these fertilizers should be replaced by biofertilizers. So rhizobium is a very important biofertilizer that enrich a soil with nitrogen. Now many free living these biofertilizers, they are also there in the soil. They are namely azospirillum and azotobacter, right? They again fixes nitrogen, and it makes the soil rich in nitrogen. Now, fungi. You know, children, symbiosis relationship is that relationship in which both the organism they are benefited. Means there is a mycorrhizal relationship between the root and the fungus. Okay, so this mycorrhiza, you will see this type of relationship in many members of genus Glomus, right? So many member of genus Glomus form mycorrhiza, which is the symbiotic relationship. So here, what is the role of fungus? The role of fungus is to absorb phosphorus from the soil, and it passes this phosphorus to the plant. Okay, so from these association, mycorrhizal association, there is great benefit to the plant, right? And plant having such association show other benefit also. So what are these benefits? They become resistant to root borne diseases, and they become very much tolerant to the salinity and the drought. So as if there is mycorrhizal relationship is there in the root, then that plant will the overall increase in the growth of plant will be there. Okay, now we will talk about the cyanobacteria. Now here the cyanobacteria, you know that they are the autotrophic microbes. Cyanobacteria, they are also blue green algae. So cyanobacteria they are the autotrophic microbes, and they are widely distributed in the aquatic and terrestrial environment. And what is what role do these cyanobacteria play in enriching the soil? They fixes the atmospheric nitrogen, right? They fixes the atmospheric nitrogen so that nitrogen can be used by plant easily. So example of some cyanobacteria, they are Anabaena, nostoc, and oscillatoria. Okay, beside this, many other cyanobacteria they are also there. So in paddy field, these cyanobacteria they serve as a very important biofertilizer. Now the blue green algae, they also add organic manure to the soil, and they also increase the fertility of the soil, right? So they replenish the soil with plant nutrient. Okay, so by using the biofertilizers or these microbes, we can increase the fertility of the soil sorry, manifold, right? And we can reduce our dependence on the chemical fertilizers. So by using these biofertilizer, a soil will not get polluted, as well as the soil will become rich in nutrient without the use of any chemicals, right? So I think children, these two topics, microbes as biofertilizers and microbes as biological agent, it is these two topics, they are clear to you. Now children, from all this discussion we come to know that these microbes they play very important role in life of human beings, as well as in the life of other organism also, and they play very important role in the welfare of the human society. Okay, so this much for today children. Now the chapter is over. Very soon we will be starting the new chapter. So this much for today. Thank you very much.